Hi. Earlier, I made comments relative to some information that I had heard from a group of guys, a group of organizations, should I say, who were advocating that they overthrow the government, dismantle the Constitution and democracy, and install Donald Trump as dictator and take all the tax money and build a military. I was wondering where the tax money was coming from. But they say, so if there are no taxes and anybody got any money, I guess they were just going to go take people's money and build a military to keep people in line. I don't know that for sure, but that was the way I could interpret what they were saying. But just thinking about that and knowing what I hear through my association with people all everywhere about life in general, especially when it refers to basic human rights for all people who have had their rights denied by the billions. I thought about that, and the messages that I have gotten would suggest that a dictator or the continuation of white supremacy is a recipe for not only the end of democracy, but the end of America. Now, I work hard to lift up the best that I can understand of the human experience. I also hear the plan of resistance, and that plan is to burn every blade of grass in this country, every blade of grass in this country, and destroy every living soul in America. This is not like the Civil War, like the South and the North. No, this comes down to destruction of human race in America. Any war that these guys are talking about that has to do with dictatorship or has to do with taking black people back to when they were slaves, any of that conversation really would weld up to one thing: the total destruction of America. And it would be black people, white people, Chinese people, and everybody here. And who will come and claim America? It doesn't matter, because we won't be here. So America, you think about that. You think about that, all that hate you got. You think if the devil can take you across that. I know many of you think that you can be a devil and support demonic action coming here trying to destroy this nation, and that demonic action will keep you here and save you. No, that won't do that. Nobody in the other side world thinking about you any more than they can use you. That's what you're trying to do, is use folks, because that's what devils do. And you now have identified yourself, legitimized yourself as a devil, and you thinking some other devilishness is going to help you. It'll lie to you. It'll pretend to you, just like you lying and pretending to everybody else, until they can use you to do what they want. But if you're talking about white supremacy and dictatorships and all that hate and killing, that's you. That will be the end of you. You are describing exactly how you will get off this planet. Exactly how you will get off this planet. I remember I heard Donald Trump when he was had become president and was talking about becoming president, what he was going to do and how important secret documents were in the White House and how he was going to do all this stuff. And then he started talking about if it were not followed, it would mean this, it would mean that. And knowing Donald Trump, all of us, like we know him, what he was really doing was describing his plan. He was actually describing Donald Trump's plan, but he was laying it out for somebody else, so you can focus on them. And when he tried it, you would never even know it was him. That was one little thing. Donald Trump, he tricked nutty people. He tricked his little demons. He didn't trick the rest of America. The rest of America heard everything he said. Well, let's see. I thought about it, and I'm thinking, out of all that I just shared with you demonically, God has a different plan. But then I thought about Americans. Americans are afraid to be angels. Angels? You can forget that. I think the last angel, as far as I can remember, I'm not sure, might have been some on the cover, but the last angel that was here was probably Dr. Martin Luther King. Probably. There haven't been any since, as far as I know. Goodbye.